Hello, welcome. I am Erica Latrice, and if you don't know me, and the last video I said if you don't know me, you should because you're on my page, but that was like a funny comment. But I was about to say it again. Welcome. It is the Monday message, and I am talking today about something that I believe is so powerful. And if you don't know me, I work with powerhouse women and I help them turn their message into a movement. So welcome. If you are on live, say hello, let me know where you're coming from, or if you're on the replay. But that is truly my mission, is to help people learn how to turn their message into a movement. Because I truly believe that if you are watching this, if you are someone who is out there, you're a visionary, you're goal driven, you're an entrepreneur, more than one person needs to hear your message. And in fact, that's one of my pet peeves when you hear people say, well, if I just reach one person, I'll feel like I've done enough, but it's not enough. So everything that I share on my Monday message is really equipping you to start sharing your message. And if you see the camera kind of shaking, I'm not in my studio, but I didn't want to not go live today. So I'm actually giving you like a real deal sit down and chat. So I want to talk to you about beginning again. Hi, Tracy, beginning again. And so what I want you to think about today is so often I get to talk to so many people with big ideas. They had this dream, this goal, they started something, and then they quit. And then they feel like they can't pick it back up. So the first thing, I'm just going to share with you guys 3 things that you can apply today, 3 quick tips. And again, share it. The first thing is that you can't worry about what other people will say. And the reason you can't worry about that is because more often than not, the people that have something negative to say when it comes to you starting over, like when you restart a business and you're worried about the people that are going to remind you of the last time it failed or the time they came and no one showed up or whatever went wrong that didn't go how you expected. But more often than not, the people that have something negative to say, they weren't going to support you anyway. So when you're thinking about beginning again, you cannot get stuck. You cannot worry about who is not going to support you. You can't worry about what other people are going to say. And case in point, I'll share an exact example. And this is no shade if anyone in my family is watching. But I recently had a housewarming party. And at the housewarming party, before I picked the date, I reached out to those closest to me, like my immediate family, and said, does this date work for you? And I have the receipts, I have the screenshots. Every single one of them said, yes, that date works for me. So I choose the date with the expectation that my immediate family was going to be there. Not a single one of them were able to make it. Every single one of them, something came up, and it was like good reasons, but something came up. And so I still ended up having my housewarming party, but I had to think in that moment, so often we put things off because we're expecting a certain group of people to be there. And it was a success. It was packed. I had to get extra chairs out. We filled up all the chairs. I had so much fun, and I'm so glad I continued with it. But that's how you have to think about starting fresh. If you have an idea that you stepped out on and you still haven't fulfilled it to the big vision that you saw when you stepped out, it is not too late to begin again. And you cannot stop yourself from beginning if you're worried about who may or may not show up. Because even when the people that you expected to show up don't, I promise you, when you have been called to something and it's meant to happen, it will still happen. It will be fully functional and it will be amazing. And the second thing, I want to make sure I have like 2 really good things, and I'm looking at what I wrote. Yes. Okay. So the second reminder that I wanted to give to you guys today is remembering that it is not a sprint. When it comes to like your biggest goals happening, your biggest dreams happening, it's not a sprint. And I will never forget these words from one of my clients that I work with. This person has built like a ridiculous following, millions of viewers. This client has grown their reach to like a phenomenal way. And that's, again, I love working with people to turn their message into a movement. But I will never forget them telling me this, that they did not care if they did not get if they didn't earn any income from their YouTube channel, if nothing happened until day 366, they were going to stick it out every single day. They were going to stay committed to what they said they were going to do. So when you think about beginning again, it's not a sprint. I can't go live today and say, oh, I only sold 2 books, so I quit. So often we do that. We get worked up. We schedule the webinar, or, we say we're going to record one video and we do that one thing. And then 10 million people don't show up how we expected. We don't get the New York Times bestseller the day it went live, the book on Amazon or whatever it may be. Then we quit. But I just want to remind you, it is not a sprint. It's not how quickly you can get it done, but it's about enduring. It's about, can you have the tenacity to keep going? Can you do a video and only half a person show up, and you continue to record videos and you continue to do whatever it is that you intended to do when you started? So welcome to everyone who is hopping on. We are talking about beginning again. Please share, tag a trailblazer if you know someone with a powerhouse message. And then the final thing that I just want you to remind you of when it comes to beginning again is mastering your day. I heard of the concept of masterpiece days, and it just blew my mind because I was the queen of remembering how whatever didn't go right. Like, oh man, I tried that before, so I quit. Oh my goodness, 3 weeks ago, I launched the event and I only sold 10 tickets. Let me tell you, I had an event that sold out, and it was a few hundred people, and it didn't sell out until like 2 days, maybe 2 or 3 days before the event. So talk about being like, oh my gosh, if I would have quit, we just would have canceled. Like, oh my God, we've only sold like 20 tickets. But it really gets down to what you do every single day that accumulates over the span of time. So if you can think about beginning again and what's powerful, it's not so much about just pushing something out today. It's not so much about doing something once really quick. It's about waking up every single day and deciding that you're going to master it. And it's up to you to decide what a masterpiece day is. I know for me, it's when I've done my focus. And if you don't know what the focus is, you can go to thefocusfast.com. It is 5 things that I do every single day that has literally changed my life. It's the reason you're seeing me on this live stream. It's the reason I've done events. It's the reason I've been on television. It's the reason that I go around and speak, because I had to understand that every day we have to start fresh. Every day is hitting the reset button. Because you might be, it's all fun and games yesterday, and then something happens at night or the next day, and you just throw caution to the wind and say, forget it. So it's so important that every single day you make the decision that you're going to master it. So if you want more support, I'm hopping off, but I'm encouraging you all who are watching, begin again. It is not too late. If that dream inside of you has not died yet, if you still have that vision, you still have that drive to do it, you must keep going. You have to begin again, start fresh, and don't worry about what anyone has to say about it. And if you want more resources, encouragement, if you're interested in taking the Focus Fast, you can go to amplifyherlife.com, amplifyherlife.com/studio, and you can get access to video replays, challenges, and some really great stuff. And yeah, so that is my message for you today, my Monday message. Thank you all for tuning in live and on the replay. Go out and make today amazing, as I always say, because it is absolutely a choice.